Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Here's my top 10 actors who turned directors. Yes, this top 10 list, I'm going to be talking about actors who were actors first, but then they turned into movie directors. And not just any old movie director, a great movie director. So yeah, my top 10 favorite actors who became directors. Alright, let's get started. And for our top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are Sean Penn, Tim Robbins, Sylvester Stallone, Kevin Costner, Ben Stiller, Albert Brooks, and Mel Brooks. All great actors who became great directors. Just couldn't make the top 10 list, but David, my top 10 is my number 10. My number 10 is Harold Ramis. Yes, the writer of the first two Ghostbusters movies and directed movies like Groundhog Day, Caddyshack, and Vacation. Yes, I bet you a lot of people didn't realize he was an actor before he directed movies. He acted in TV shows. I can't remember the TV shows, but he acted in TV shows in the 70s, and then he just started directing movies, and he gave us the first Vacation movie, which was so funny. I just love Harold Ramis. I love Harold Ramis' comedies, and I'm just a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of his kind of comedy, and I love Caddyshack. Groundhog Day is like one of my favorite movies. It's one of the best time-traveling movies. It's one of my favorite Bill Murray movies, and it's just a great sci-fi, dramatic, romance comedy. I love Groundhog Day, and I love that Harold Ramis gave us Groundhog Day. Yes, he was once an actor, but he became a brilliant director, and I love Harold Ramis, and I love his movies, and God rest your soul, Harold Ramis, because you gave us some amazing films. Coming number 9 is George Clooney. Yes, he was a great actor, but he also gave us some great movies. Let's put aside The Monuments Men, because that movie isn't awful, but it's not that great. But I am putting George Clooney on this list because of two particular movies. And these two particular movies are amazing, like amazing movies. Some of his best work, like amazing. And that's Good Night and Good Luck and The Ides of March. They're both political movies and probably some of the best political movies I have ever watched. The Ides of March is written, directed, and produced by George Clooney. It stars George Clooney, Ryan Gosling, Paul Giamatti, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and then some. It's so well done. It's a great movie about a political race and about the corruption and politics and the gross and disgusting things people do to get elected and to actually win elections. And it's so well done. Very well acted by the entire cast, and it's one of George Clooney's best movies. It's so well done. Ides of March, check it out if you haven't seen it. Also, Good Night and Good Luck, another stellar cast. George Clooney, David Strathairn, Robert Downey Jr., and Jeff Daniels, all amazing in this movie. A great dialogue-filled movie about this TV station led by Edward R. Murrow, and they're battling Senator McCarthy about communism because they're being accused of being communist because they're almost attacking Senator McCarthy because they're saying that Senator McCarthy is locking people away for being communists and they're not communists and stuff. And this TV station is basically battling the government. Mostly Senator McCarthy, but they're battling the government. And it's such a very well-crafted film, very well directed, very well written, one of the best dialogue-filled movies I've seen. And this is the reason why I love George Clooney as a director. Directing Good Night and Good Luck and The Ides of March was just a grand achievement, and those are the reasons why I appreciate him as an actor and director. George Clooney is a fantastic actor, but he's a brilliant director too, and I can't wait to see what he has next for movies he's directing, because I can't wait. He's a great director. Coming number 8 is Ron Howard. Yes, he started off in Happy Days, Tuesday, Monday, Happy Days, and he also started off in American Graffiti, but then he started directing movies. And my God, Ron Howard is a talented director, one of the most talented directors working. He is so good. He gets Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, Rush, Ransom, Apollo 13, A Beautiful Mind. Just gave us such great movies and lots of different genres. He tackled a lot of genres, dramatics, comedies, crime movies, science fictions. Ron Howard just tackles a lot. Cocoon, another great movie. And he always puts such good actors and good ideas and so much effort and creativity in his movies. And I love Ron Howard's movies, and I love him as a director. He started off as a pretty decent actor. I always call him that ginger kid from American Graffiti, but now I call him a masterful director because that's what Ron Howard is. He's a masterful director. Coming number 7 is Rob Reiner. Yes, I bet you another guy you probably didn't know who acted before he started directing. Yes, he acted in the TV show All in the Family, if you didn't know that. I'm a big fan of All in the Family thanks to my father who loved the show. He got me into All in the Family years ago, and I love the show. It's a great comedic show. It's awesome. So good. Check it out. Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's so good. Those were the days. So good. Rob Reiner was in that show, and that's how he actually started off in acting. And then he started directing. He actually acted and directed in his first movie. This is Spinal Tap, one of the greatest mockumentaries of all time. Rob Reiner is a brilliant director. Yes, his career plummeted in like the late 90s and early 2000s. He still hasn't really given us a good movie in a long time, but the 90s and the early 90s and the 80s were his best years. He just gave some of the best movies of all time. Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, Misery, Princess Bride, A Few Good Men. Like, he gave us some amazing movies, truly remarkable movies. Also, the movie The American President, that's another great film. I love Rob Reiner's work, and I'm still shocked that he started off in acting. Yes, he does acting every now and then. Like, he was on The Wolf of Wall Street. He does a few TV shows every now and then, but he's a great director. I'm hoping one day, he'll give us a great movie again. He'll give us another Princess Bride or another Spinal Tap. Hopefully. But until then, we still have his amazing movies because he's a great director. Coming number 6 is Kenneth Branagh. Yes, Kenneth Branagh started in acting, then he gave us amazing Shakespeare movies that he all directed. He directed some of the greatest Shakespeare movies, the greatest Shakespeare movies you'll ever see in cinema. Henry V, Hamlet, Love's Labour's Lost, and Much Ado About Nothing. Amazing. Much Ado About Nothing is one of my favorite movies of all time, and my favorite Shakespeare play, and my favorite Shakespeare movie, the 1994 Much Ado About Nothing. You know, I love the Joss Whedon version, but Kenneth Branagh just brought that play to life, and I love his Shakespeare work. He directed it all, and he did an amazing job, but he also directed some really great movies that isn't Shakespeare, like Dead Again, and actually last year's Cinderella. Yes, he did a couple movies I wasn't the biggest fan of, like Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, but he's a great director. He's a great actor, too. I love him in movies like, you know, Othello. He didn't direct Othello, but he was great as Igo in the movie Othello. I also love him in My Week with Marilyn. He's a great actor. He started off in acting, but then he gave us directing. He's such a better director, directing these amazing Shakespeare plays, especially Hamlet and Much Ado About Nothing. Those are his two masterpiece films, and just the way he directs Shakespeare, he brings Shakespeare to life. Kenneth Branagh is one of those directors not a lot of people talk about, and I wish they should, because he's one of my favorite directors. I love Kenneth Branagh. Coming number 5 is Charlie Chaplin. Yes, the king of comedy and the king of silent films. This guy is amazing. Started off as just an ordinary silent film actor, and then he started writing, directing, and producing all his silent films, and he gave us some amazing movies like The Great Dictator, City Lights, The Circus, so the movie Gold Rush. Great films, and just Charlie Chaplin is the king of silent films. Anytime I think of silent film stars, I think of also Buster Keaton, but Chaplin is the master of silent film and comedy, and I just love Charlie Chaplin. He's a great, amazing artistic filmmaker, and I'm glad he started directing his own movies because he's an amazing director. Coming number 4 is Robert Redford. Yes, Robert Redford was an amazing actor. He was in amazing movies like The President's Man, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and The Sting. But then when he started directing, he was a talented director. He started off, I think, in 1980 with Ordinary People. Oh, such a good movie. Ordinary People won his Academy Award for Best Director in 1980. Such an amazing movie. Brilliant film. Like, Donald Sutherland is fantastic in that movie. He's so good. I love that movie. One of my favorite movies directed by Robert Redford. But he also did other great films like A River Runs Through It. Also, The Quiz Show. Like, he gave some great direction in some amazing movies. Like, everyone knows Robert Redford as a great actor, but I also know him as a great director. Love you, Robert Redford. Coming number 3 is Charles Laughton. Yes, everyone knows him as a great classic actor. And yes, he started directing some movies, but one movie in particular is the reason why I put him on this top 10 list. And that is The Night of the Hunter. The Night of the Hunter, again, is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of the greatest horror movies, greatest psychological thrillers. I love that movie. It's amazingly directed. I don't want to spoil it, but check that movie out. It's amazing. And what else do I gotta say other than leaning on the everlasting light? Coming number 2 is Tom McCarthy. Bet you, another guy people didn't know he actually acted. He was actually a very great actor, really good actor, played in some really good movies, but then he started writing and directing, and his movies that he directed, other than The Cobbler, let's put aside The Cobbler, put aside that fucking shithole Adam Sandler movie, he directed some amazing movies. The Station Agent is hands down my favorite with Peter Dinklage. Such a good movie, probably the best movie directed by Tom McCarthy, but he also directed movies like The Visitor, and Wind, and last year's Spotlight, which won him his Academy Award for Original Screenplay. He did such a great job with that movie. I love that movie. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Tom McCarthy is just a very talented filmmaker. He was a great actor, but now he's an Academy Award winning writer, but he's also a director. Love you, Tom McCarthy. And my number 1 favorite actor who turned director is, obviously, Clint Eastwood. Come on, Clint Eastwood. Eastwood, man, like this, please. I'm a director. I can't do impressions for this shit. I apologize for that terrible Clint Eastwood impression, but he was a great actor at first. He was in a lot of Sergio Leone movies. He did the Man with No Name trilogy. He did a lot of great westerns like Joe Kidd and stuff. He was also in Dirty Harry, the entire Dirty Harry franchise. But then he started directing. He directed some amazing, amazing movies like Unforgiven, $1 Million Baby, Mystic River, Flags of Our Fathers, such great films. Clint Eastwood is an amazing director, and he's one of the best directors working to date. Yes, he did American Sniper recently. That's a good movie too, but I don't know if Clint Eastwood's going to give us any more movies, because the guy's getting old. But if he retires, that's fine, because we'll always remember his phenomenal movies. He gave us amazing movies, whether he was acting in them or directing in them. Clint Eastwood is one of the greatest actors that ever worked in Hollywood, and he's also one of the greatest directors working in Hollywood. So yeah, love you, Clint Eastwood. He's amazing. So yeah, that was my top 10 favorite actors who turned directors. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me who are your favorite actors who actually turned directors. Who are your top 10 favorites? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.